Hello, 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 hello. What a phenomenal time to be here. What a phenomenal time to be with everyone. How are you guys doing? Wow, had some couple of challenges before coming up here, but I'm grateful that we're able to make it. This life still goes on. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Married Life Show, and I'm excited that you chose to join us today. Okay, please let others know about what is gonna go down. Okay, let's make sure that we all participate. You can share this with your friends and family, and tell me in the chat where you are joining from. Let me know how your day has been. All right, be feel free to comment, feel free to share, feel free to communicate with us, and I'll be very happy to also hear from you. Thank you for joining me today, right? So sometimes you might see me look at this side because I'm trying to look at the Instagram audience as well. Just take advantage of the opportunity to go live on Facebook and YouTube, and at the same time on Instagram. I want to say welcome, 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 Judge. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited that you came divinely live. Thank you so much for joining. Let's share this broadcast. Wow, Instagram is going haywire right now. Falania, thank you. Thank you, Noj. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Gabriela. Thank you guys for joining. Please let's share this. Share this with your friends. And those on YouTube, those on Facebook, please share this with your friends and family. Get them on here. Right. For those on Instagram, just tell me, let me know how you are, how you are. Hello, 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 George. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your love. Thank you. I want to appreciate everyone that has joined today, and I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to do this. And I would like you to share this on your status. Let others join us today, and make sure that you are willing to learn, willing to unlearn, and willing to grow. All right. My name is Chinda Chinda, and I'm a life relationship and performance coach. I help married people, single people, matured adults to discover their relationship differences, to discover their uniqueness about their lives, about their marriages, and not just that, also help them to navigate through all marital challenges so they can have incredible and amazing life. So thank you so much for joining. I'm grateful. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you all. Thank you. Delphine from Cameroon. Thank you, thank you. Let's share this. Let's let others know, friends and families, daughters, sons. Let's get them on board here because we're going to have an awesome time today. And I believe that, we're going to learn something. We're going to grow something. So those on Instagram, please share this broadcast. Let others know. Put it on your status. Let's have an awesome time today. The impact of spousal weekly checkups in marriage. It is going to be interesting. And if you're joining me, let me know where you're joining from. So we'll be able to see how we can support each other and make today quite an exciting one. All right. I can't wait to get on board with you guys today and let's have an awesome time together. All right. So cool. Let's see. Okay, who is there? Thank you all those joining. So while we're sharing, if something resonates, please put it on the chat. Okay. And just tell me as well, what you want to get out of this life today. What you want to get out of this life. Why you here? What do you think might be of beneficial to you? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's know what you want to get out of this life today. Let me know because I want this life to be quite an interesting one, and I hope that we'll make it so. So let me know why you're here and what you want to learn out of the life we're having today. All right, let me know, let me know, and we will have an awesome time together. Okay, cool. This is interesting. Okay, this is really really interesting. Okay, and today I'll be looking at very, very important aspect of marriage, aspect of a relationship if you actually want to make that relationship to work, if you want that relationship to remain lively, if you want that relationship to be transformational. Okay. That's exactly what we want to talk about now. And I'm hoping that, you'll be open minded, and allow this sharing to actually make sense to you today. Because I believe that as long as we get ourselves involved and we do everything we can to maintain a relationship that is alive, a relationship that is healthy, a relationship that is positive, a relationship that is friendly, the impact and the dividend of that relationship is always phenomenal. All right. So I'm excited that that's exactly what everybody wants. No relationship starts from a place that it is not exciting. You know very well that everyone that comes into a relationship has one thing or the other to do. We're busy with kids, busy with our work, busy with a lot of other projects, and busy with family. But it's an area that sometimes we lack to be busy in, and that is our interpersonal relationship with our spouses, interpersonal relationship with our own spouse, not just about the children, not just about not just about your work, not about your business, not just about getting involved in so many other projects. I'm talking about interpersonal relationship. If you think about before you came into the marriage, before you became a husband or a wife to your significant other, you realize that everything was centered on you. Okay, but now you are in the marriage, you are in the relationship. It's not just about you now. And because relationship have dynamics and season, there are seasons where children arrives. There are seasons that your job, your season that your work, the season where things begin to become very busy for you. If you're not careful and sensitive, things might begin to slide. And hence, we're talking about this today, the impact of spousal weekly checkups in marriage. If you think about any organization, if you think about any marriage, if you think about anything that you do, that you're not constantly nurturing, you're not constantly working on that thing, the tendency for you not to be as good as you thought will begin to happen. And the moment that lapses begin to show in your marriage, your relationship, certain things begin to happen, is an evidence that you are not regularly checking up. You're not checking in. You're not regularly aligning with your spouse on a regular basis for you to have this relationship, for you to have this marriage that is going to impact not just you, but also your children. Before I talk about the impact, let's look at the other aspect that could happen if you are not regularly checking up with your spouse. If you're not regularly working with your spouse, if you're not regularly doing things in your relationship that will maintain connection, that will ensure that your marriage is alive, that your marriage is vibrant or your relationship is alive, let's talk about what could happen. And if you see some of these things in your marriage, in your relationship, it's an evident that there is no checkup, or maybe there is minimum checkup, and or it's not done properly. And as a result of that, you begin to lose the opportunity that you once had in that relationship. So, what are some of the things that can make you know that regular checkup is either lacking in your marriage? Is decreased communication. Decreased communication in your marriage. When communication leads to misunderstanding. When we say communication, we're not saying that you're not talking in the marriage, in the relationship. But when you talk and your spouse does not understand you, when you talk and your spouse completely misunderstand what has been said, you are this one saying things, but the receiver is not able to comprehend adequately or make meaning from what you have said, then communication breakdown exists in that marriage, in that relationship. And this can be very difficult for both of you in that marriage, in that relationship. You want to express some thoughts, you want to express some feelings, you want to express some certain needs, but you are so frustrated because there is disconnection, because there is resentment, because you're not able to clearly communicate properly in that relationship. Then you find yourself in that marriage hard to actually cope. When communication declines, when you talk to your spouse but it end up in fight, it end up in argument, it ends up in misunderstanding, it ends up in not able to see eye to eye, it ends up in defensiveness, in silent treatment. Sometimes you communicate but you're even thinking, why did you even talk? Why did you communicate? Why did you even say what you're saying? Because you are not free. You're not able to express yourself adequately the way you deem necessary, and you're not able to freely share what is in your heart. You want to talk and you just withdraw. You want to say something, you say, oh, because I know if I just go ahead again now, we're going to end up in argument. When that exists, there's some underlying issue, and that underlying issue is there is no regular checkup. And as parts of not regularly checking up on each other, there is even deeper problems there. And that is where disconnection, resentment, unforgiveness, and many things now exist in that marriage, in that relationship. Simply because we have not taken time to address the root causes. One thing again that is very evident, which is number two, that shows that weekly checkup is lacking in your marriage, is decreased intimacy. You see, without regular time for both of you to share your lives together, to connect deeply together, regardless of where or place, but you don't find that as a meaningful activity between you and your spouse, it's evident that there's deterioration of something going on in your marriage, in your relationship. And that will decline more and more. Most times for women, the emotional connection that they want to have in their marriage, in their relationship with their spouses, with their husbands, is non-existence. It's not found. And also for the men that want to connect with their wife more close from a physical standpoint, they're not able to do that. And if they do it, it is not exciting. It's boring. It's tiresome. It's not just giving them what they need. Then there is something that they need to address. Okay. So that's number two. First one, we'll talk about decreased communication. Number two, decreased intimacy. Now, number three is escalating conflicts. When you are not regularly checking up with each other, when you are not regularly at the top of your showing up for your spouse, conflict will escalate. And conflict escalation that is perpetual, that is regular, like almost every day or a couple of hours within a day, there's an evidence that something isn't right because you've not been able to address certain issues that is bugging you, that is affecting you, and it's making both of you not to be in that place of unity, of oneness. That issue will arise. The small problems that is neglected, the small issues that is neglected, either with your spouse, with the children, with your home, with your dream, with your goal, whatever it is that is so insignificant, will be blown out of proportion because you have not addressed it. And it will lead to serious big conflicts, larger conflicts. And the more frequent this thing exists in your marriage, the more intense it becomes, then the more it will cause total disconnection between you and your spouse. And that is not going to help your marriage. That is not going to help your relationship at all. So when you don't check up and when you don't address underlying issues in your marriage, in your relationship, unfortunately, what you discover, what you see is escalating conflict. Small thing will lead to big thing. And over again, that can be very impactful to your marriage, your relationship. Number four is decrease teamwork. You see, when partners do not communicate, when partners do not connect, when partners are not aligned, how do you think they're going to work together? Even the Bible says two is better than one. So you know that certain things in marriage works well when there's a team spirit. Even in your offices, in your organizations where you work, you know how important team working is necessary, that is so mandatory. Otherwise, you cannot achieve a lot together. And even if you achieve small. You achieve more when you do things together. So when you are seeing that your projects, your life, your dreams, everything about you in your marriage is completely in silo. Everybody have their own things they are doing, no connection, no synergy, no alignment. We're just living separate lives. Well, unfortunately, that will lead to increased isolation to your spouse. That will also lead to increased frustration. And I can tell you, in that state, there'll be anger. Someone is going to really, really get angry, very upset. If you don't take your marriage seriously and you take every other thing seriously, what do you expect to happen over time? Your marriage is going to suffer. And I don't think that is best for your marriage, for your relationship. And that will also lead finally to unhealthy balance in the marriage, in the relationship. See, without regular checkups, without finding out what is going on in the life of your spouse and where they need you to support them, where they need you to help them, you will be very, 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 very frustrated because you don't know their schedules, you don't know their needs, you don't even know what's their priorities, you don't know what they need from you. Everybody is just on their own. That unhealthy balance will cause the relationship not to be worked on, to be neglected, and unfortunately, you will be feeling really depressed, overwhelmed. So, I've just looked at some negative impact when you don't do the regular checkup in your marriage, in your relationship. It's going to cause more problem for you if you don't take action today. And as a result of that, things might even become more complicated for your marriage, for your relationship. And I don't think that is what anybody wants. You want your relationship to grow. You want your relationship to be exciting. You want your relationship to be what you want to enjoy in your marriage, in your relationship. So now, how do you actually do this? How do you actually begin to find a way to do regular checkup with your spouse? And I'm going to be talking about weekly checkup, at least weekly checkup. And this thing doesn't take too long. The problem is that if you don't have it as part of your plan, if you don't have it as part of what you are supposed to do to ensure that your marriage is alive and well, and you just keep it as something of less priority in your marriage, in your relationship, how do you expect that to actually work? How do you expect your marriage to be where it's supposed to be? So this is why you need to take regular checkup with your spouse very seriously. It will impact your relationship and it will make things even much better for you. We've just discussed about negative impacts. Now, how do you actually do this? And what is the impact you can have by having regular checkup with your spouse? Number one is improved communication. I'm not going to come here and say that you will not have misunderstanding. I'm not going to say that your spouse is going to meet all your needs. I'm not going to come here to say that your spouse is 100% going to understand all your feelings. But it is important that you share and you communicate from a place of dialogue. If you are shouting at your spouse and screaming at your spouse, if you're always out of your temper, out of control, do not expect to have a decent communication or conversation with your spouse. Every marriage thrives when you build active communication in your relationship. And that involves your active listening, validating what they are saying, mirroring them, and asking them, how do you resolve this or that? What exactly do you want me to do? That is so important. And there are certain questions that can help you to find out what is going on in the life of your spouse. Let's say, for instance, to improve communication, and you are asking, how was my communication this week? Was I present? Do you think that I listened? Do you think that what you shared, I understood? Did my action actually prove that what you shared and what we expected to do for each other actually happened? And you don't judge, you don't criticize, you don't begin to defend yourself. Oh, I was working. Oh, I went there. Oh, I did this. Oh, I took the kids out. Excuse will never stop in your mouth if that is how you want to approach it. You humble yourself and you ask yourself again, how did I get here? Why did I miss this? So it's like a probing, open ended question that you can find out what worked last week and what is going to be better next week. Or if you're someone that is always yelling at your spouse, screaming and shouting at your spouse, then you ask, did I yell this week? Did I scream at you this week? Is that something that you think I did that was off from our last discussion about how we need to communicate? When we discussed this difficult thing, how did you feel about it? Did I intimidate you? Did I make you afraid? Did I frighten you? Did I make you not to be open and honest? Did I do anything that affected how you speak to me? You begin to ask probing open-ended question, and please humble yourself to take all the things they're sharing and begin to use it to work on you. This is so important. That is how you build a better communication. And you review this at the end of the week. You can choose which day of the week that works best for you, which day you call past 7 days, whichever one that works. And based on your availabilities as well, but ensure that you also put communication as part of your agenda to review. And then regular checkup also will help you to evaluate your intimacy, because intimacy is necessary for stronger bond from an emotional standpoint, spiritual standpoint, intellectual standpoint, financial standpoint. Everything is bare. There is nothing hidden, because you're checking up. What did we do this week? How did we approach this? I mean, did we ensure that I actually satisfied you in bed this week? Did you think I was patient enough in foreplay? You are very real. There is no going around the whole thing. Ensure that you are practical and you are real about your discussion. Because if you really want to improve your marriage and relationship, if you want things to work, if you want things to continue to be better in your relationship, then you have no choice than to be ready to receive whatever is being said from a place of humility, from a place of grace, because you want change in your marriage and your relationship. You want things to improve. Now, somebody might be saying to me now, we are all right, we are fine. Even the best marriages can decline. In fact, when your marriage seems to be working, okay, I put in quote, seems to be working, that is when you need to be more sensitive and be more proactive, deliberate in everything you do to keep it continuously satisfying, continuously fulfilling. Make sure your marriage is stable and you're not taking each other for granted. The moment you feel that, oh, we are better than that couple, you begin to compare yourself with other people, marriages and relationship you read on the tabloid, you saw on social media, you saw across the road, or you saw in newspaper or wherever, and now you're thinking that you've arrived. That's the beginning of your downfall. Then complacency will set in, indifference will set in. Your prudence ability that you normally have to ensure that all those commitments that you have made, your daily rituals on what you need to do with your wife, with your husband, you begin to neglect them simply because you are thinking that you are okay. And then you stop working on you. You stop being intentional about the things that made your marriage to even be where it is today. Things will begin to decline. So don't take your intimacy for granted. It is necessary, it's important. But it also comes from finding out and discussing and looking for ways to make it better each time. Do you know that when you check up every week, you can manage conflict better? You will have a better approach in the way you deal with conflict. And that only comes when you are communicating on a regular basis. You know what can become an issue. In fact, before the issues arises, before the issues become an issue, you have already addressed it right from the onset. You will not allow it to get to the stage where things will really, really escalate badly. So marriage works when you proactively address things as they show up in your marriage. You show up in your attitude, you address it. In your character, you address it. In your actions, in the way you treat each other, you address it. And because you have an open communication line, you are able to share or discuss things from an I perspective. When I feel like this, when you do like this, when when this happened, this is how it impacts me. You're not judging their character, you're not making them feel worthless, you're not using demeaning, belittling, and really, really hurtful words. So you address conflict before they actually become a bigger issue. So in that process of consistently doing weekly checkup, you address things as they come up. You don't let them become 1 month, 2 months, sometimes even years. People are carrying things in their mind. That is just too much work to bear. And at the end, you're actually damaging yourself. When you communicate, when you check up, you build a better team. Absolutely a better team. At work, you have regular meetings, depending on which company you work for, and even in your business, you have regular meetings. Why do you do that? Because you want to align. Why do you do that? It's because you want things to be different. Why do you do that? You want to ensure that you are understanding the dynamics of your workforce and the way things are being done in your organization or where you work or in your business. That's why you do meetings regularly. And there you brainstorm solutions. You think about ways to address certain things that is possibly a challenge to your organization. So you are well prepared to deal with any eventualities. That is the way when you check things up on a regular basis. Most people, after so many years in their marriage, in a relationship, they just feel that what's the point of actually doing this? But you don't know that this thing will help you throughout the marriage. You don't do checkup just once in a year or once in 6 months. There may be a lot of things that you need to deal with that have just escaped you, or you have just put them under the carpet. But eventually they will not be resolved, but rather they will create more problem for both of you. And finally, you know, by checking on each other, you have a healthier balance, right? You are fully aware of your spouse's needs, their schedules, their plans, their goals, their aspirations. You're not someone that I don't know what is happening. You ask the man about this regard to their wife. I don't know. Everything is I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. When you keep saying I don't know, more I don't know than you know about your wife, about your husband, it's evident that there is no checkup. You guys might be very, very busy, but when you don't check up on each other, when you don't consistently work on yourselves, then how are you going to even balance things up? Because you don't even know what is going on in their lives. You don't know their priorities. You don't know where they are going. Sometimes spouses will go out. The other person don't even know where they've gone to. They will come back. They say, "Oh, welcome," and that's it. There's no discussion. There is no feedback. Nothing. Wow, that's going to be very challenging. So, what I'm trying to say is that weekly checkup with your spouse plays a crucial role in promoting a healthy and a strong marriage by setting some time apart, some dedicated time that both of you have agreed every week to connect, communicate, to work together, to do things, and to address any issue. It will make your marriage solid. The foundation will be intact week to week, month to month, year to year. And at the end of the day, it's a win win for both spouses. Each person will feel fulfilled, happy, and excited that they actually got involved in this person's life. So, the question I will ask, now you know what you need to do. The question is this: how are things going to continue now going forward in your marriage, in your relationship? How are you going to change? How are you going to turn things around in your marriage and relationship going forward? You might be doing this before, but you no longer do it. So the time of connecting with your spouse, the time of connecting with each other does no longer exist. That becomes a challenge for your marriage and relationship. I will encourage you not to take your marriage at this time for granted whatsoever. Do everything you can to ensure that your marriage and your relationship is maintained from a place of total commitment from a place of proactiveness. Now, most people will say, oh, this is a lot of work. I'm too busy. Oh, this is too hard for me. Well, at the end of the day, can I tell you, you need to choose your own hard. If you think by regularly checking up with your spouse, somebody that you say you're going to spend the rest of your life with, somebody that's supposed to be your best friend, somebody that's supposed to be your partner, somebody that you're supposed to regularly be with for the rest of your life, if you think regularly checking up for half an hour or depending on whatever minute you guys chose to just check up on each other, if you think that is difficult, then probably you do not understand the consequences that you might have for not doing this. The consequences from a negative perspective will not be nice, will not be pleasant. And at the end, you will be the one that is going to face the unnecessary music in your marriage, in your relationship. So I want to encourage you to just go back and just rewatch this again and just say, I need to do this. I need to regularly check up. And I want to support you in that process to regularly check up on your spouse. So if you go to my website, Married Life Management underscore, okay, this is something I want to give openly, Married Life Management.com. Okay, if you go to Instagram, management underscore, on the bio, you can click, there's a link. You can download a template on how to do this every week. Or you can go to the website marriedlifemanagement.com. On the homepage, just go downward, you will see the marriage performance review checklist. Marriage performance review checklist. You go in there, put in your email, and you will get this document that will help you to actually do some checks on your marriage on a regular basis. Or you can just decide on your own, okay, what do I need to track in my marriage? What do you want to track every week on your marriage? What is it? Is it with the kids? Is it with your husband? Is it with your wife? Then what aspect of the marriage? Is it communication? Is it intimacy? Is it teamwork? Is it how you resolve conflict? Is it how you respect, connect with each other, activities? I mean, you can decide what you want to track or check in your marriage and relationship. But it's something that you must be very intentional about it. Because the more intentional you are in trying to review your marriage, the more powerful it will become to change your relationship and to make it better. Any relationship that is not proactively maintained, any relationship that is not proactively worked on, unfortunately, that relationship will not last for too long. And even if the relationship lasts, it's not going to be exciting. It will not be as God have designed it to be. And if you're not having that enjoyment of each other in your relationship, please can you take this checkup very seriously because it could just impact your relationship and make things better for you. So, my challenge for you tonight is this: are you going to be complacent or are you going to say, no, I'm going to conquer whatever is holding me back? This thing that I need to discuss with my husband, I want to do it. This thing I want to discuss with my wife, I want to do it. You can send them this video, you can let them watch it as well, so they will know how important it is for both of you to actually do regular checkup in your marriage and your relationship. Don't always push things under the carpet. Don't always say, well, I don't need this, I don't need to talk about this. And because you are not talking about it, the effect of your negligence on those areas in your marriage will begin to boomerang, will begin to affect everything in your marriage and your relationship. Hence, you must make up your mind to be more proactive about your relationship and about your marriage. And I hope this has been good. Just want to find out if anyone has any question. Have 1 or 2 minutes before we wrap up. Okay, if you have any comments, want to ask anything, just let me know, and I'll be able to address it. I want to say thank you for Yeah, quite a lot of people on Instagram. Thank you, everyone that have joined. Sorry, I might not call all the names, but I'm really grateful for you joining today. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, and I believe that you've got some value out of this as well. And all those that joined on Facebook and all those that joined through YouTube, I also appreciate your time. And I just want to encourage you, if you like what you've seen, you can subscribe. Thank you, Yakubu. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, you can, yes, you can subscribe to our channel. Okay, thank you, Yakubu, for that. Thank you. So you can subscribe to our channel. You can share this with your friends and family. Do not underestimate the impact of regular checkup in your marriage, in your relationship. This is very, very important. And then I also want to say that as part of what we're doing this year, we're doing quite a lot, and we're imparting many relationships and many marriages. So if you want to be part of our marriage satisfaction mastermind, because we will soon close this door, it's an opportunity for you to either send us an email, all right, send us an email to info@mylinemanagement.com, or send us a WhatsApp message to that number on the screen, or send us an email, or DM us in any of our social media handles. We'll be able to support you and address uh, any desire or any need that you might want in order to get you become part of what we do. And then I also want to say that we have a couple of courses as well that we have created, is supporting a lot of marriages and relationship around the world. If you go to the website, okay, our online courses, everything that I've shared on communication, on sex, on conflict, on kids, on how to balance your finances, how to discover yourself in your relationship, your temperament, just go to this website. You will see anything that you need in relation to what I've discussed here, and even much more. And they're quite affordable courses. You can just go there and click and just dive in and continue to learn, because marriage is all about learning. And if you need any support as well, you can send us email on this support in relation to any of the calls that you might be interested in, regardless of where you are in the world. We'll be more than happy to help you and support you as well. So I want to encourage you, take your relationship seriously, take your marriage seriously. A lot is happening today, and I can tell you the devil isn't sleeping over any marriage that is working. The devil isn't sleeping over any relationship that you think is okay. There's a lot happening in the spirit realm against marriages today. And you can see so many things going on all over the world, in medias, too many policies coming here and there, and all is just attacking the relationship and the marriage that God has instituted. So if you have yours and you are sleeping and you are not serious about it and you're not working hard on your marriage, unfortunately, the person that doesn't want your marriage to work is very much at work. Okay, I don't want to go too much into details about this, but the person that doesn't want your marriage to work is going to use both media, is going to use both social media, is going to use people around you, he's going to use friends, he can use in-laws, he can use your spouse, you can use your kids, he can use everything around you just to make sure you are not satisfied or fulfilled in your marriage and relationship. The war is on, and do not underestimate what this bad guy can do, Satan. And don't let him do what he wants, because Jesus has conquered him. And Christ is interested in your marriage. God is interested in your marriage. He wants you to enjoy it, because that's what he designed. And if it's working for you, please maintain it. Take action. Don't take it for granted. Otherwise, things might not just be the way you have designed. I want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and I appreciate it. If you love this, please, put some comment. Join us here by subscribing to the channel and share it as well, so that more people will see this video and their relationship can be improved, can be better, just like yours is getting better whenever we come like this to share. I also want to say that there are programs that we have all lined up. Okay. We're gonna be having a sex master class next month. Don't worry, that also is gonna be out on the promotional pages all over our social media. 4 week sex master class next month. I want you to know that it's probably what you've never experienced in your life. Trust me, I know exactly what I'm saying. You need to be in that class, okay? But that is coming up. Intimacy Sex Masterclass is for the married exclusive. If you're not married, please, except you're just about to get married, because that class is too hot, it's too real, it's too transformational in the bedroom. So if you're not ready to practice, please don't show up. But if you're about to practice and you know you have the mind to cope with what is going to be shared, then get ready for that course that is happening next month. And I can't wait to talk to you guys again. Remain blessed and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care now. Bye.